So we're going to take a look at classifying quadrilaterals, rather using the definitions we just did in the previous video and apply them to the questions that we have. So you're going to pause the video and copy all this down.
I was lost when you found me. I was broken and lonely. Somehow you still want me. Who would have known? Ain't the same when you
Okay, so let's take a look at the first example. So a trapezoid. So it doesn't matter what the shape is, you just need to know the definitions for the shape. So what quadrilateral is it? It's an isosceles trapezoid. So you have to think of what are the properties of an isosceles trapezoid. Oh, and I forgot to label the letters, so go ahead and put that in there. So isosceles trapezoid has exactly one pair of parallel sides. Use the properties to answer the question. So it says label the question with the given information and properties. It also has the non-parallel opposite sides are congruent, and also the base angles are congruent. As a listening check, put a box around example 1. One pair of parallel sides. The ones that are not parallel, they are congruent, and the base angles are congruent. So I'm going to try the trapezoid actually so that I can see it like kind of up and down. Makes it a little bit easier to see the base angles. Listening check, color the trapezoid in example 1. This one here. So just twisting the paper, the base angles are congruent to the non-parallel sides. So that's all the information. I've labeled it. Then I'm going to use this information to set up an equation. So let's see what we're given. Let's fill it in. The measure of angle T is 7u plus 88. So that is 7u plus 88. And then the question is, what is T? Well, what do you know? Well, you know that if two sides are parallel, and I'm going to go ahead and draw this out for you. I don't know if you remember this from when you did parallel lines. So I'm just drawing that side of the trapezoid, VU. You see the parallel lines? So you can make my house. So that's 130 right there. And you can make my house. And the question is, what is that question mark? Well, what do you know about those two angles? They're interior same side. And what do you know about interior same side? They add up to 180. So 130 plus question mark is going to give me 180. This is a listening check. Color in interior same side adds to 180. And again, that just comes from parallel lines and transversals. So let's move the 130 to the other side. So what's going to happen? We're going to need to subtract it. I'm going to get that it's equal to 50. So that question mark is 50. Okay, so if the base angles are the same, that's also 50. Which means, again, that same side supplementary, that's also 130. Okay, and again, I can show you. So that'll be a 50, and then what's that? That plus that is 180. Same idea with the VU and WT. So they add up to 180. Okay, so then measure of angle T is 7u plus 88, and that's equal to 130. The question is going to be, and I forgot to write it down, is find u. So subtract 88 from both sides. So it's going to give me 7u equals 42. Divide both sides by 7. And that's going to give me u equals 6. So u equals 6. And the measure of angle T is 130. So did I answer the question? What's the measure of angle T? Well, it's 130. But since I did all this work, I'm going to change the question to is what's the measure of angle T and what's U, because I've done all this work. All right, so I've got both U and the measure of angle T. So just be careful that you're answering the question, because I didn't need to do all that for the question I originally had, but I've changed it. All right, now we have a parallelogram. So what quadrilateral is a parallelogram? So now I have to think about what properties does it have, label the question. So it has 5. So I'm going to draw those 5, okay? One is in the name, a parallelogram, so two parallel sides. The second one I'm going to say is opposite sides are congruent. The third one is opposite angles are congruent. The fourth one is the same side supplementary. When you add those two angles on the same side, you're going to equal to 180. And then the last one has to do with diagonals. Diagonals bisect each other, so one side is equal to the other side. Those are the 5 things. So what do I need for my problem? Okay, so I forgot to copy the whole problem down, so this is what it is. And it gives you RV and TV. So what does that got to do with diagonals? So I'm only using this last property that I mentioned. So what do I know about it? It cuts it in half. So that means RV is congruent to TV. Listening check, circle example 2. That's just the definition of a property. Now that I know that, I can do the algebra. What's RV? 15z minus 1. What's TV? 4z plus 21. Solve the equation. So go ahead and draw my river. I'm going to add 1 to both sides and subtract 4z to the other side. So I'm going to get 11z equals 22. Divide both sides by 11. I'm going to get z is equal to 2. And that's it. Okay, so we're going to do this over and over and over, and it's just about knowing your properties. Did I answer the question? Yes, because I was finding Z. We'll do the other 3 examples in the next video.